Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
I think the most the people who had the most antipathy towards children publicly used to be the most misanthropic Reddit or forum posters, right? Like the r/child free people, or just before that, the people on Something Awful who coined crotch spawn. People who whether they saw children or not were not entirely optimistic about their future. I don't know how articulated these people's feelings about the future is, but I don't know. I feel like there is an awareness on some level that the America where you can get fucking 7 pounds of food for $5 is not going to exist. That the spoils of empire are not going to be as easily won and distributed as maybe they were. But of course, it's never verbalized like that, or maybe they're not aware of it in that sense. I don't know if it's consciously something oh, there's a future without us. I think for some of the more explicitly ones, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I feel like for this type of person, the demon hunting moms and in some cases childless people, it's just this ambient terror. When a child finds out about mortality for the first time. A screaming child realizing that one day they and everyone they know will die.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of previous witch panics in American history. And if you were some Calvinist psycho in the 17th century living in what wasn't even a developed part of New England, the witch, basically. You're eating ergot, you're fucking talking to God every day. I could easily imagine how, some widow who has a cow that gives milk and yours doesn't. I could easily understand how that could manifest into some sort of hallucinatory witch panic. But because, life was fucking dangerous and hard back then. But I think whether it's this satanic panic shit now or those TikToks about oh, if someone leaves a bag by your car, they're going to kidnap you. Do you think this is just sort of on the one hand, we feel the sort of threads and sort of the tied society together, and our feeling of being assured of the future is less founded than it used to be. But at the same time, overwhelmingly, life in America in the 21st century is unbelievably safe and boring. So is this like you said, this sort of auto fiction in which people can create a reality for themselves that is more, I don't know, vital or terrifying, or just sort of exciting, entertaining than the one they currently inhabit?
Yeah, and also talking themselves up to the point where they can enjoy a future of politics where all they're really voting for is who gets to be publicly punished and brutalized, who they get to vicariously enjoy the suffering of, because there's nothing else. There's no other political choices to be made. There's no ameliorating of conditions. That ship has sailed. But we still have the capacity to punish, and the more we are terrified of some self-generated enemy that's internal and is going to get us, the more relief we can feel when we watch them be destroyed by agents of the state.
Well, yeah. Now it's the people who these people want to punish are high school kids or younger. I mean, and but it's all done under the guise of preventing child abuse. Felix, you talked about the Reddit child-free crotch spawn people. Those people genuinely hated kids and wouldn't care one way or the other whether they lived or died. But these people are all claimed to be protecting children while they are carrying out, literal child abuse. I'm sure plenty of it is in nature, but so most of it, I would just hazard a guess, is just plain old run-of-the-mill child abuse.
Yeah, no, I think despite what they say, they do hate children. You don't keep doing the same thing if you don't like it. You don't accidentally, oh, whoops, I made a girl cry. Oh, whoops, I terrified all the kids at my school. Oh, whoops. No, you like doing it. I
guess this recalls to mind the Travis Scott Astroworld week. Remember 2 days when people were convinced that Travis Scott was harvesting souls as part of some demonic energy ritual?
You don't know he didn't.
Did anyone follow up on that? Follow up on that, though?
Yeah, we solved it. We got to the bottom of it. Travis Scott said he'll never do that again.
Okay, good.
And we can move on to other things.
You can move on to this mural that's harvesting souls.
Yeah. Well, okay, so everyone wants some type of meaning in their life, some struggle they can overcome. Every American wants the feeling of wearing shoes that are too tight and then taking them off. Or, even worse, going to see live music and then the concert mercilessly ending to overcome something. But you don't actually want to do the part where you go to the concert or put the shoes on. You need some type of struggle, and it's very easy to struggle against children. You end up,
you fucking rinse kids.
But in general, you end up struggling against people who it's very easy to struggle against. I think that's sort of the heart of the function of a lot of this stuff. The cause is multi-headed.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like, it seems now we're in a situation in which both sides of like this, I don't know, culture war split in this country regards the other as basically like cannot be reasoned with, cannot be democratically assuaged, and represent a kind of ignorant savagery that is leading to like a full-on like national suicide. And the thing is, I'm not making any kind of moral comparison or equivalence here, but like both sides believe that to be true of the other side and are in their own internal coherent logic basically right about the other. I'm not saying like, I think obviously one is more justified than the other, but the thing is like, if schools and our society in general became more accepting of gay people or transgender people, that would represent in a certain sense an existential threat, not to the lives of these people, obviously, but to their kind of, I don't know, what they would regard as something that gives their life meaning, which is in a way, like in their minds, kind of like being killed.
Yeah, I mean, they're incompatible social visions, and like the importance that people put on them is, I think, distorted by this weird anxiety field, because it's the only way that they can describe any of the other things going wrong. Like every material cause of anxiety, precarity that we feel is essentially unspeakable. It is unaddressable. So that means every personal conflict is largely intractable for people who aren't able to change their conditions. So this becomes these models, these visions of like social justice or social virtue become the only terrain of any meaningful contest, because politicians are actually addressing them, because there is a sense that one side or another can move them in one way or another. You can vote to get somebody on the school board who will do X or Y. And so this becomes, of course, it becomes the place where the most psychic energy goes, because it's the place where there is a sense that there is a contest to be won.
Do you think that part of it is sort of the frontier coming home? If we're going to expand it to all factions of politically engaged American life, at least in the mainstream, that like,
absolutely.
Yeah. On one side, the more like liberal Russiagate side has taken on the national security state's posture of looking for traitors and subversion and foreign actors, and weirdly enough, the right-wing side has taken a cue from liberal interventionists. They have almost a Samantha Powers view of the domestic, that they have to rescue children and women from these awful liberals who are now the Taliban. Everyone took cues from the other side and brought home the things that we've been inflicting on the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like if you're the PTA school mom who sees any kind of acceptance of gay or transgender kids as a kind of a threat to your cultural life, I think the response that these people, their solution to that is to threaten the actual lives of everyone else.